Great. Welcome to the 10th week after Pentecost, Friday, August the 2nd, 2024. This is the Manna at the Tap podcast, where we as a community actively seek the spiritual nourishment our souls crave. I'm Gloria, your fellow traveler on this spiritual journey, and today we guide each other, offering and receiving insights and interpretations from our daily lectionary reading. The lectionary text today is Joshua chapter 23. It's Joshua's farewell message to the people who have settled in the promised homeland. We first met Joshua and his childhood friend Caleb as young men born in Egypt. They wandered in the wilderness with Moses and the people. And the Lord told Moses he was to choose 12 men, one from each of the ancestors' tribes, to explore the land of Canaan. Joshua and Caleb were selected as the two up and coming young leaders who accompanied the other 10 men from the community. As they were about to leave, Moses changed the name of Caleb's friend from Hoshea to Joshua, meaning God is deliverance. 40 days later, the 12 men returned and reported what they had seen and heard to Moses. They brought back a souvenir from the land, a cluster of grapes that were so large it took 2 men to carry it. 10 of the 12 men reported to Moses that it was a beautiful place, but the people who lived there were strong, their cities were large, and they were walled in. And we felt like grasshoppers, which is how we must have looked to them. Caleb and Joshua disagreed with the 10 other leaders, but the 10 leaders won out, convincing the people to avoid advancing into the promised homeland. Ultimately, Caleb and Joshua, the only two people who came out of Egypt and would cross over into the promised homeland given to them by the Lord. The lectionary text is Joshua's farewell speech and his last will and testament. He will pass the responsibility for observing the Torah to the tribes and ask all of Israel to do what the Lord had commanded them to do in the book's opening chapter, which was to live by the law of Moses. They were to be loyal to Yahweh, who had fought for them and given them the homeland. Yahweh had kept all of the promises he made, fought their battles, and promised they would experience rest from their enemies when they lived in the homeland. The land was given to them, was Yahweh's gracious divine gift and not of their merit. They would enjoy the promised homeland if they were obedient. The people had a vital role to play. Joshua told them to be strong, be steadfast, observe the law of Moses, and do not veer to the left or the right. He commanded the people to show exclusive loyalty to Yahweh, their God, and not serve the gods of the people that surrounded them. Yahweh and only Yahweh is Israel's God, and they belong to him. In the closing verses, the repeated key word is good. It was a good land, and Yahweh had given them the good things, and he fulfilled all his good promises. It was all because of Yahweh's gracious, unmerited gifts that the people were called to obey God, hold fast to God, and love God. Joshua's final words are sobering. He reminded the people that it was Yahweh who brought about the good words, and he was equally able to bring about bad things if Israel failed to serve Yahweh alone. There is a sense of a threat as Joshua anticipates the people are not sincere in their commitment. And as we leave the book of Joshua, the tribes are fragile and loosely connected, and there's a movement to the book of Judges, which is characterized by their disobedience. Yahweh was gracious and always raised up judges who delivered them from their enemies whenever they called out to him. He provided the opportunity for them to serve him with undivided loyalty and experience rest for themselves and the homeland. Now, how might we apply this ancient text to our lives today? We must guard against receiving Yahweh's goodness and mercy and then turning from being loyal and faithful to Him and following other gods. That means we need to name the gods that we serve, and that's a small g. We are to trust in Yahweh's faithfulness, love, and power, and we are to worship and only serve Him. As the Tapestry community has completed another year of ministry and we are beginning a new year, may we receive this blessing on the community. And it's found in 1 Thessalonians 5, verses 23 and 24. May Yahweh Himself, the God of peace, who makes everything holy and whole, make us holy and whole, put us together, spirit, soul, and body, and keep us fit for the coming of our Master, Jesus Christ, the one who called us is entirely dependable. If he said it, he will do it.